Welcome to the live, child. Welcome to the live. How are y'all doing? It's been a very hectic week. Dealing with a lot this week, and it's pretty hectic. But I'm here. I am here on the live, pushing through. Okay. So I hope everyone's doing well. If you are watching the replay, let me know how you are doing in the comments. How are you? How are you? Again, I hope you are doing well. All right, so today I want to talk about enhancing your spiritual gifts. Okay. And I've been seeing like a lot of people been really getting in tune with their spiritual gifts. And, more so also like getting back to their roots, right? Getting back to who it is that they really are, getting back to trusting their intuition and trusting themselves. And as much as we, talk about trusting yourself and utilizing your intuition and just more so feeling how your body is responding to things, that's not really easy for a lot of people. Okay, so I want to talk about that of like how to enhance your spiritual gifts and things of that sort. First, I want to say that this is on my mind for something I was looking at. Whatever you feel called to do right now, it's important that you do it. Wherever, where, and to what you feel called to, you want to listen to that right now. Okay? There's a shift that's happening. And I'm sure a lot of you feel that. If you're on my channel, then that tells me you feel this shift that is happening. Okay? And it's like, regardless of if you're scared or not, you gotta understand 2025 is a 9 year. Okay? The number 9 means endings. Okay? So we're gonna see a lot of systems crumble. We're gonna see a lot of things, but we're gonna see a lot of things get broken down. Okay? Like a lot of systems that we may have known was rigged or corrupt, all of that's coming to an end. And we're really being pushed, right? We're being pushed this into our like sovereignty. You know what I'm saying? We're being pushed into our independence as an individual and as a collective. And I mean that on the highest power, right? We're moving to a time where you're going to have to create your own jobs. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to have to rely on your spiritual gifts to get you through, right? We're moving to a time where it's no longer about, do I want to have a spiritual practice? Do I have a spiritual practice? That shit now is a necessity. Okay? Y'all know I'm giving to you straight. That is now going to be a necessity. And we're going to see that, right? And I know you guys feel that shift. I know you guys feel the different things that are happening or going on. And you feel that some shit is in the energy, in the air, that it's like, get your shit together now. I can't stress that enough. Like, take care of your shit now. Because, like I said, this is a 9 year. Okay, 2025, right? 202 plus 5. 4 plus 9 equals, 4 plus 5 equals 9. 9 means endings. Okay, next year, 2026, that year is going to be ruled by the number 1. Okay, that means new beginnings. And if you are showing any type of resistance now, you are going to be, come 2026, you're going to be wrapped up in the same damn cycles that you find yourself in now. And that cycle will start another 9 year cycle. You understand what I'm saying? So, whatever you feel called to do right now, or where you feel called to, you want to listen to that inner voice. Because this shit right now is all part of your life's purpose, your calling. If you're one of those people that's like, I don't really know what I'm called to do, or I don't really know, you need to pay attention. Pay attention to the signs. Pay attention to the things that keep coming up for you. Okay? You could be randomly scrolling on TikTok or whatever, and you're like, oh, I was thinking about taking a course in that, or I was thinking about doing this. And then you jump on something else, and then something else comes up, or somebody you're watching is talking about that same thing. That is a sign that you want to pay attention to. Okay? Because now's not the time. The days where we're like, oh, you know what? We just chilling. It is what it is. That shit's done. Like, I don't know. I felt this in 2024. When 2024 hit, it was like, you're an adult. And so I need you to be spiritually mature. Okay? So I just want you guys to pay attention to that. So let's get into talking about enhancing your spiritual gifts. Now, spiritual gifts is something that we are all born with. Why? Because we are spiritual beings. It's not something that you have to necessarily inherit it. Yes, you can, right? Depending on your bloodline, right? But you naturally have gifts that when we came from the spiritual realm into the physical realm, we were here with gifts that we are supposed to utilize to push the collective forward, or to utilize to heal our bloodline. Okay? So I want you guys to understand that, because a lot of times we hear the spiritual gifts and people are like, I don't know if I have any spiritual gifts. You do. It's just the thing about gifts, you don't realize that it is a gift because it comes so natural to you. Whatever comes natural to you, even down if you're like, yo, I have really great ideas and people always tell me I could just think on the fly. You understand what I'm saying? That more than likely, how you go about it, that could be a gift. And you may think, like, oh, that's not a gift. Everybody can do that. And then when you start talking to people, you'll realize that, oh, not everybody can do that. And so when we get to talking about your spiritual gifts, right? Maybe you're someone who can channel energy. Maybe you're someone who has healing energy. Maybe you're someone who can, like, one of my spiritual gifts is I can hear what's not being said. Okay? So if we're having a conversation and you're talking to me about whatever, I can hear what you are not saying to me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm a person where you can't really like talk in code to me, because I'm going to decode what you're saying. I'm going to be like, okay, well, you may feel like this, and even in human design. And let me tell you, the things about your spiritual gifts, that shit comes up in your birth chart. It comes up in your human design chart. For me, I knew I was always spiritually gifted because I come from a bloodline that's spiritually gifted. The women especially on my mom's side, are very spiritually gifted. And just growing up, it was just something where I was like, oh, I'll be thinking about somebody and they'll call me or something. You get what I'm saying? Or just little things like that. And it's like, or I was a person where I used to always be like, I can read between the lines. Just like what I told y'all, like I can decode what someone is not saying to me to know how they really feel about something. And before I really got disciplined with my spiritual, mature spiritually, I used to just look at it like, oh, I can, kind of tell what someone isn't saying to me by what they are saying. You understand what I'm saying? And so once I got 2024, I'm trying to tell y'all, that was the year where it was like I had my part two of spiritual awakening. Because in 2020, when the pandemic hit, that was my first spiritual awakening, where I was like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, the world isn't Skittles and rainbows. What am I really here to do? This and that, right? And then come now this year, or excuse me, 2024, 4 years later, I have another spiritual awakening when it was like, okay, now this is the next level. This is the next level of how we're doing shit over here. Okay? And so that year, I really start to trust my spiritual gifts. And that's how you can enhance your spiritual gifts, is simply by trusting it. See, a lot of times we see the girls with the candles. We see the girls with the oils. We see the girls with, all the tools. And there's no tea, no shade to that. Absolutely none. But I don't want you to see those things and think that those things makes your gift. The cards, You are the gift. You are the magic. You are the person that gives power to these tools. And when you see people utilizing these different tools, I want you to keep in mind that they also realize that they are the power. You understand what I'm saying? Like you don't always need all the, because nowadays on social media, spirituality can really look like an aesthetic. You know what I mean? Like the girls is like, just I want to look like an aesthetic for spirituality. Where now, where the reality of it is, spirituality is really a lifestyle. It's not about you. Um, it's not about the shit that people see, really. And that's what I want y'all to understand. Like, it's not about the things that people see that makes them spiritual. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have to wear a turban on your head because you're a spiritual girl. You don't have to walk around look like Erykah Badu just to prove that you are spiritual. No, that's just not realistic. Unless that's really your thing, it's not something that you have to do. You understand what I'm saying? It's not a costume, right? So I want you to understand that when it comes to your spiritual gifts, it's about you embracing it. But a lot of people fear that. A lot of people are afraid of their spiritual gifts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like people are always like, "Oh, I'm psychic," or I'm this," in a joking manner, like on some "that's a Raven" shit. You feel what I'm saying? But it's like, in reality, you could really maybe. And like I said, there's a lot of different spiritual gifts, but it's all about you understanding that you hold the power to that. And the only way to really enhance that is by nurturing it. Okay? When you nurture your gifts, that's how you amplify it. When you trust it. But if you're still in limbo, like, "Oh, no, I don't know. I think that's my intuition. I'm not sure," or, then you're not going to know how to. And there's tools that you can do that, or use that can help you trust that and to recognize it. You understand what I'm saying? That's why you see, like, I'll have cards or, the tarot cards or oracle cards. These are all tools that can enhance your intuition. If you're someone who may be like, "I need to work on that connection," right? And with any connection, the only way to amplify that connection is by trusting it. You have to trust that connection. You understand what I'm saying? And once you do that, that's the only way really for you to enhance your spiritual gifts. So, like I was speaking when I first got online, this is a time where you truly want to embrace your spiritual gifts. Okay? Because that's where also your individuality lies. We're moving into a time where eventually, in the next couple of years or so, the great reset is 2027. This is why I say y'all need to learn your human design. If you don't know what human design is, ask ChatGPT. Go on Google, go to puregenerators.com and pull up your human design chart. Because come year 2027, that's where the great reset is. And the world will look entirely different. I know you guys, and back in 2019, before we had the pandemic that started in 2020, I felt this same shift. It was a shift like something's changing. Something's about to change. Like a big old something's happening here. I don't know what, right? But I just feel like something is different. And so come 2020, in March, we had a pandemic. And that flipped the world upside down. I feel that same shift in this year, 2020, and this is 2025. But I felt this shift in 2024. The end of 2024, around the same time of the month that I felt it back in 2019. So there's a great reset that is going to happen where you are going to have to create your job. And see, right now, it may be difficult for you to follow what it is you really feel called to, because right now we're in this in between. Like I said, 2025 is a 9 year. We're in that in between of, this is the endings and beginnings. I want you to think of Pisces energy. The North Node is in Pisces. And so Pisces is endings. And you know, when Pisces, right before spring, we have that fall, that winter, that's kind of like, okay, and if you live in Michigan like me, you may have some snow in April. And you feel that, like, okay, this is just the last little bit of snow. Let's wrap it up so we can go ahead and get to spring. That's what the energy of 2025 is. Okay, this is the ending of old cycles, things that need to end. Okay, wherever you, like I said, wherever you are resisting, if you don't get a handle on that by the time we move to 2026 next year, where we start an entire new cycle, you will be wrapped your ass in that same loop because you didn't do the work that 2025 required. Really, the work started in 2024. Okay? Really, the work started in 2024. You understand what I'm saying? And so you're not too late. We're in June right now. We have 6 more months of the year. What are you doing for your purpose? What are you doing to move yourself forward to where it is that you are called? Because if you're alive and breathing right now, you are needed for the collective calling. You are needed. Right? You are needed. You have gifts and spiritual gifts that you are supposed to use to help the collective move forward. A lot of people are like, I don't know what my purpose is. And it's like, well, did you spend time with yourself to find it? Or are you just scrolling on social media all day, not learning nothing? What certifications are you going to get? Right? You get what I'm saying? Like, lots of things are happening behind the scenes that it's like you guys really have to get tuned in. You really have to tap in. Okay? You really have to tap in because it's not something that you can bypass anymore. Those days are gone. You know, on that Tyler Perry movie, she's like, Christina's gone. Like, seriously, like that the time is gone. And whereas now it's like, this is preparation. So if you're finding yourself like, oh, am I really being called to this? Is this really going to make me any money? You know, is this going to be fruitful, profitable? You have to think, because this is 2025 and we are wrapping shit up. We're like wrapping it up. Like, okay, what's all the endings? Let's get rid of this. Get your shit together. What debt you need to pay off? What certifications you need to get? Whatever it is. What important documents that you need to get? Your government documents, your birth certificate, your social security card, all those type of things. And so right now you're ahead of time. You don't want to be trying to get your shit together when for next year. You understand what I'm saying? You don't want to wait until next year to then get your shit together. That's not how it works. You understand what I'm saying? That's not how it works. You don't want to wait until it's time to get your shit together to get your shit together. You always want to be ahead, which is being in alignment. So don't worry about if you're starting an energy business or you feel called to do holistic healing or things of that sort, and you're like, I don't know if this is going to be profitable. I don't know. Does the collective really need it? One minute you get excited and you feel like, yes, they do need it. Then on the next, you're like, but do they really? Yes. But right now, we're preparing. Right now, this is the preparation. Okay? Right now, this is the preparation for what's to come. Right now, it may look like, oh, this person doesn't need this. I feel called to look into energy healing. Right? I'm currently doing a certification for energy healing. Like, I'm in alignment with this shit because I see what the fuck going on. From an astrological point, from a human design point, from a third eye point. I don't give a damn which point It's from I see it. I see it. You understand what I'm saying? I see it. So when I started looking to my own chart, which I always encourage y'all to do, back last year when I really was like, okay, let me, my self discovery, I've always been self discovery journey, but last year was different for me. It was really like, okay, what am I here to do? After the passing of my grandmother, it was like, okay, what am I here to do? What's up? What's up? What's up, Spirit? What you need from me? What's good? What's the assignment? Because yeah. And when I looked at my human design chart and I looked at my astrology chart, all these things were confirmation for me. It's things that I naturally knew. I naturally knew I was spiritually gifted. I naturally knew that because my family is spiritually gifted. You understand what I'm saying? So it was naturally, me being the only girl, it was naturally for me, like, and the oldest, it was like, you know, yeah, I'm spiritually gifted. But to see that shit in your chart, to see that shit in your human design chart, that's a whole different ball game, because it's different than just be like, oh yeah, well, I always did this or whatever the case, but then to really see like, no, you were designed this way, you were given these gifts, you're drawn to these type of things, you are drawn to these type of things for a reason. This is all part of your calling. Yeah, you're this type of person that's meant to help people through big life transition like death and rebirth. Like, I'm here to do some real heavy, deep shit, and I'm like, me? Okay. Let's go. You understand what I'm saying? And so it's constantly a journey of being fearless. Okay? And if you're someone that's like, I need help to understand my chart, I need help to, baby, I got you. I got you. Okay? Go ahead and book a reading, book a session with me, and I will break down in your chart what your gifts is, how you can make money, your communication style, how you need to be showing up using your Mercury sign. Because that's your communication, is the way you think. That's your business mindset, the Mercury. So I want you to have that same light bulb moment of, oh. And for some of you, if you're not already, it may not be confirmation for you. You may be someone that's like, oh, I don't really know. It may be an awareness journey for you, a self-awareness. That can also be discovered in your chart. You understand what I'm saying? Pull up your chart, look at it, and you can dissect it. It will literally tell you everything you need to know. Your love life, like everything, business, everything that people care about, your business, your career, everything that people care about, you can find that in your birth chart. You can find that in your birth chart. And if you're someone like, okay, I understand this, but how do I execute this? How do I show up in this? Your human design chart. That's why I have a session that's called the soul session. And that's where we go over your birth chart and your human design chart. And we compare and contrast. I make it make sense for you. Your human design, your birth chart is like the roadmap, and your human design is like, okay, the GPS. Like, how are we gonna get there? You understand what I'm saying? That's your human design chart. Okay, how? Because that's all about you as an individual. Okay, astrology is more so like, okay, you have this, you have Libra in the third house, and your third house is of communication. Okay, you have Virgo in your second house. Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Hello, Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Okay, so if I know I have Virgo in my second house is all about how I am meant to make money. Let me find where my Mercury is. Oh, my Mercury is in my ninth house. Okay, so teaching, coaching, mentoring, long distance travel, astrology, you get what I'm saying? Philosophy. Like, it literally will break down those things for you. all in your chart. You understand what I'm saying? And so it's very important that you just allow yourself to be aware and allow yourself to be open-minded. When you realize your spiritual gifts, like I said, not for everybody is going to be a journey of, oh, confirmation. But I promise you, you do have an idea. If you're someone that's into these things and you're someone that's like, excuse me, I want to book a session, that tells me you're already curious. And we're in Gemini season. So it's the perfect time to be curious and to follow that curiosity. Because sometimes your spirit will have more heart than your mind. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes your spirit will lead you to things that you are curious about. But your mind be like, because your mind is is trying to protect you, right? So your mind will be like, no, let's not do that. No, no, we don't want to do that. Nah, that's too deep. We don't want to go there. But your spirit will tell you, no, this is what we're supposed to do. This is what we're called to do. This is the assignment that we were sent here to do. That's why I say this is a spiritual journey. You're going to have some heart. You're going to have some fire. Because this ain't no cakewalk. If you really serious about the time, you have to think about the times that we are in, y'all, and the times that we are headed in. What do you think your calling is? Just based off that. And if you're watching the replay, baby, let me know in the comments. Just off that, what do you think your calling is? Just by sitting there and seeing that, okay, I'm born during a time where people can't trust the systems. They can't trust the hospitals. They can't trust the banks. They can't trust the food system. If I'm born during this time, I wonder if I'm, and I'm wondering if I'm someone who purpose is if I'm someone who purpose is to help with that. You understand what I'm saying? That's one of the easiest ways to figure out what your purpose is. Just look around you. What's going on in the world? Food system coming down, medical, all these things. What is it that I'm called to do? Maybe I'm meant to help with this in some way. If you're somebody that's like, oh, but I want to do it my way, guess what? You fucking can. You can, because that's the time we're in too, where you are creating your own job. You are creating your own routine. You are creating your own income. That's why it's about getting creative. You understand what I'm saying? That's why it's about getting creative, being creative. There's no more like, oh, just go to college and just do this, and that's great. That is dying down. That's about to no longer be a thing in the next couple of years. You remember when people went off to college, used to feel like they ass was going off to like be the best that they can be. Like, bye. Like, oh my God, you're going to a new world. You motherfuckers back at home with you. We bumping elbows, working at the same grocery store. And there's no tea, no shade, but it's just times are changing. That same script, the script is done. It's time to write your own story. It's time to write your own script. If you had a shot, what would you do? If you had a chance, what would you do? What would you do with it? Fuck feeling sorry for yourselves. Fuck, oh, I didn't get this. My mama didn't do this. My daddy didn't do that. That shit done. That's an old storyline. Stop telling yourself an old storyline. Because in the reality, you're just using that as an excuse to not do what you were called to do. God sent you down here with that storyline. Do you think you weren't supposed to make it out? You have everything that you need. You have everything that you need. You just have to believe it. You sincerely just have to believe it. That's how easy this shit is, y'all. And if you find yourself having mindset blocks or all these different, book a session with me. Let's have a chat. I would love to help you on your spiritual journey. I would love to get you to that light bulb moment. That aha, oh, okay. You're going to leave a session with me with steps that you can take today and start implementing. We're not going to waste time. We're going to get right to it. We don't have time to waste time. Right now, time is so fucking precious. And if that has taught us, if I learned anything from just last year alone to right now, time is so fucking precious. And we spend so much time wasting time that we don't even see that where we are supposed to do is right in front of us the entire time. We just got to have some heart. We just got to have some heart. Go after it. Figure out the steps to make it happen. Google it. Chat GBT the shit. Whatever you got to do, book a session so somebody can pull this shit up in your chart and say, boom. That's my favorite part when people book a sessions with me, is seeing that aha moment. Yeah, it's a business, it's my business, and I'm making money from it, and I'm so grateful. But it's the moment when they're like, "Oh, you just made this make sense to me. Oh, you just made this click. Wow, I was looking for something to simplify it. You just did that for me." That's what I do this shit for. That. It's a blessing that I can make money from that to help people see what's right in front of them. So this is the time to really decide what it is that you are called to do. And I'm going to keep saying, if you don't know, please pull up your astrology chart. Please pull up your astrology chart. Please pull up your human design chart. Because everything will just connect dots. And even everything that you've been through, if you've been through something that the enemy thought it would take you out. If you've been through something where most people would have folded and you came out still standing, dust yourself off, that's something you could teach people how to get through. That's something that you are meant to heal within yourself and then teach others how to do the same thing. This shit's right in front of our face, y'all. We just been taught to not pay attention to that. We've been conditioned to ignore our gifts. Oh, that's not going to make you money. Nah. Or something wrong with you if you think you know how to do that. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what you have to understand. This is what you have to understand. Now's the time to embrace your gifts, because what you have to understand, you were born with everything that you need. You were born with everything that you need from the beginning. From the very beginning, you were born with everything that you needed. It was nothing that you needed that you didn't have. It's just that maybe people try to trick you out your spot. Because the thing about gifts, others will recognize them before you do. This is how people can get manipulated out of their gifts. Right? Or they can, and what I mean by that is you would not listen to your gifts or not think that it's a gift. Nah, you don't trust yourself. Because you want to trust yourself because you weren't taught to trust yourself. Right? So that's what that means. So just imagine if you started to trust yourself. This is how you nurture your gifts. This is how you enhance your gifts. You don't always need all the things that looks aesthetically pleasing. You just need you and your intention. It's really your intentions that's the fire starter. Your intentions. It's not the candles, it's not the cards, it's not the oils. It's your intentions. I've manifested some amazing, beautiful things. I'm standing in many answered prayers just from my intention alone. Just from my intention alone. I didn't need no. I didn't need the candles. I didn't need the cards. I didn't need these things. And again, I'm not. I'm not shading these things because these are tools that can help you enhance your gifts. These are tools that can enhance your intuition. You see what I'm saying? But I want you to know that the power is you, right? And you having that connection to the source. This is how you can amplify that gift. Don't forget that shit makes you make it. You give power to these tools. Okay? And your intention. Don't turn your spirituality into aesthetic. And what I mean by that is make sure that it's true to you and you're not just doing or practicing some shit because you've seen somebody online do it. No. Spirituality is about your individuality and doing what resonates for you. That's what it's about. Okay? So again, if you're someone that's like, I want to know my spiritual gifts, can you highlight that for me? Can you make it make sense for me? Book a session. Book a session with me. You can book an astrology session, or you can book a human design session, or you could book an entire session that's called the soul session, where I look at both of your charts together and we go over them together. Okay? Then at the end of our session, I also send you the recording of our session. So that way you can constantly go back and like, okay, you said this, okay. Because it may not all click for you at one time. You will literally have to study this shit yourself too. And again, I have a Patreon. If you want like access on a day-to-day basis of like, okay, I'm unlock this in my chart. What does this mean? Can you answer this question for me? Okay, Jupiter's going to Cancer, and so my ninth house is ruled by Cancer. What does that mean for me? I answer all these questions on a day-to-day basis in my Patreon. That's what my Patreon is for. Okay? So if you have a session and you love it, whatever, and you want ongoing support, go ahead and subscribe to my Patreon. All that's linked in my bio. Okay? Also, I do tarot and oracle readings. So if you're someone that's into the cards and you want a little spiritual pick-me-up, I offer that as well. If you're someone that's like, I need a clarity boost, I have a question and I just want clarity of what's going on, book the reading, book a session. Book a session with me and I will break that down for you. My spiritual pick-me-ups and my clarity boosters, they are either by audio message or I'm going blank. Audio message or I forgot the other one, but you can just find that link in my bio. And if you book a reading, a clarity booster or a spiritual pick me up reading, you can get those the same day if you do auto readings or by pre-recorded. I usually try to get those to my people the same day because it's easy for me just to knock those out. So look into my bio for that. If you're someone that needs a reading, like I said, if you want me to look at your astrology chart and your human design chart, go ahead and book your session. Like now's the time. Let's get into it. If you're someone that needs ongoing support, you need questions for your astrology chart, you need questions for your human design chart, subscribe to my Patreon. That's where you get ongoing support from me on a day-to-day basis. Okay? So I hope that answered all your questions there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure that you give this a like if you haven't already done so. And make sure that you go ahead and subscribe, okay? Because we have more conversations like this where we're just chopping it up. We are growing together on this spiritual journey, okay? In this spiritual atmosphere that we are creating over here at the Sacred Collective, okay? So book your reading. If you need a reading, book your session. Let's get to it. Let's do the work so we can Be all that we were called to be. This is the shit we signed up for. We asked to be here. Okay? I'm not sure. Hello, thank you so much. Thank you. And yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you don't have to follow astrology. Um, yeah, do always do what works for you. Um, yeah, so that's amazing. But thank you so much. Yeah, so I will catch you guys in my next live and have a great day.